Hey, Crazee White Boy.
What's up, Kenny D?
I was about this bitch the other night. I was sucking on her titties, finger fucking this hoe. She didn't want to give me no pussy though, man, so I went home.
You left? You didn't eat the pussy?
Fuck no!
Oh, man, you don't know what you missing.
Eat pussy! Pussy! Tell them fucking pussy eaters about themselves, man. Get out!
Hey, pussy eater. God damn. Hey, it's
What's going on, baby?
What's going on, man? I'm Maxwell Silverhammer here. This is Nothing Sacred, and I've got Crazee White Boy in the building, back from the dead. What's up, man?
A whole lot of nut, man. Just chilling.
Oh, man. So wait, you said you were telling me you're at the fish house or the fish something. Fish
I was supposed to be at the fishing camp this weekend.
Oh, see, the fishing. See, it's ironic. The man who makes Hey Pussy Eater is going to be at a fishing camp. So man,
spending a lot of my days on the water now.
Oh, you're a water guy, huh?
Oh yeah.
So, all right, what is that? The last project you did, the Down and Dirty album?
Well, I did something with Greg and Manny on their first record for RCA, which was right after that project. And then I was supposed to do something for RCA following that, but that kind of fell through. From what I understand, they had a lot of regime change or something. You know, the upper echelon of RCA, they kind of cleaned house and came in with some new people, and negotiations didn't go as well as we had liked, you know. So I just kind of stepped away, and after that, you know, thought about it for a while and realized, you know, there were too many demons for me, and it was probably best to get out while I was still alive. I was lucky to live through it.
So what? Okay, now this is crazy because I didn't know this until a few days ago. So you worked with Manny Fresh, who did, you know, beats for, you know, Hot Boys and all the Cash Money guys and stuff like that.
Yes, he was one of the two hype producers. It was him and Gregory D.
Wow, man, that's some history. A lot of people don't know that.
I don't hear him talk about it too much when I see him, but yeah, it was him. It was actually Gregory D approached me personally to do it, and it's supposed to be just a side project, a little single for the clubs. And I wasn't a rapper at the time. Actually, I was a drummer in a rock band, and I had worked with Greg's girlfriend, and they were looking for a white guy to do this record, to put it out in the clubs. And so at the time, there wasn't many white rappers out there. Vanilla Ice wasn't out yet. I mean, you had the guys from Third Base. Kid Rock had just signed with Ice Cube's new label, but that wasn't out yet. So so when he approached me, and you know, he said, you know, we wanted somebody, you know, you're a drummer, so we know you them, and we heard you're crazy enough to do it. And so when he told me the name of the song that he wanted to do, I said, I'm your man. Go talk to whoever you got to talk to, but you coming back to me. This is going to be my record.
What was the song?
Hey, Pussy Eater.
That was the original song, huh? The very first one.
That's the one that got it all started.
Wow. So that's crazy, because you know that album on the first side, you know, was all clean stuff in the beginning. Well, except for If You See K, but those who had to dig a little bit to figure out what you were saying.
That was done on purpose.
Oh yeah, I figured it was.
We got a lot of DJs from around the country, you know, telling us that kids and people were constantly calling in, asking them to play the fuck song from Crazee White Boy.
The fuck song. So you never wrote raps or anything like that? It was just like, I want you to do the song called Hey Pussy Eater, and you just came and wrote some shit?
Yeah, you know, like I said, I was doing all the rock stuff. You know, I listened to some rap, you know, back then I listened to, you know, a lot of the NWA, Public Enemy, KRS-One, you know, the real anti-establishment groups. And of course, Gregory D, you know, Gregory D and Manny Fresh, they were the biggest thing in New Orleans at the time. So I knew who they were. So of course I jumped at the opportunity.
Wow. That's amazing. So then they were like, hey, that was great. Let's do some more music. And then you guys wound up doing a whole album, or?
Yeah, well, what ended up happening, like we said, we gave it to some DJs, some local DJs, and you know, then the management company at the time, you know, was based out of Dallas, and they started, you know, giving it to DJs in Texas and stuff like that, and it just started taking off, and they were like, man, we have a whole album, so let's do it.
Oh, man. So then so what happened? Did you get some kind of major deal, or how'd you get your distribution?
Well, we started with an independent label based out of Texas, and they had a lot of connections with the major labels. You know, they wanted, you know, it was a little different back then, the way things worked.
Right.
And so they wanted to see what kind of following we had and things like that. So we released the album first. And and that's when we started talking. That's when Greg and Manny signed with RCA, and that's when I was going to sign with them when we started talking to them after I had did some work on their record. Of course, the record I did on that album was called Coochie Pleases.
Is that? Can I find that somewhere?
Yeah, I think it's on the same way you found me. It's on YouTube. Some people have uploaded it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, actually, here's what's funny because, okay, now we're taking this back to 1990 now. And this is how I found out about your music. So there was a store out here called Odyssey Records, and there was a guy in there named Scotty, and he always used to hit me to a lot of new hip hop and stuff like that, you know, and he actually introduced me to a lot of groups I like now, even, you know, like Awesome Dre and, you know, MC Pooh and a bunch of guys, you know, bunch of underground dudes. And I went in one day to buy Mama Said Knock You Out, LL Cool J. And I said, man, what else is out in hip hop now? What's new? And he was like, man, you heard Crazee White Boy? And I was like, no. And he was like, well, if you like Two Live Crew, you probably like him. So I said, okay, man, I'm going to buy this shit. So I buy it and I take it home. And like I said, the first side was all clean songs. So I'm going, okay, where's the Two Live Crewness? So then I flip it over. And that's when I hear, hey, Pussy Eater, and all the other good ones, man. And I'll, you know, Get Vocal and whatnot. I'm like, oh, here we go. All right, now this is a good album. You know?
It's funny too, because when after that, when we decided to do a full-length album, this was about the same time that the PMRC was, you know, out, and they were trying to, you know, ban artists from cursing on records and, you know, talking about violence and stuff like that. And that was when D. Snyder and some of them guys went and testified in front of Congress. It's also the same time that, you know, a lot of record stores were refusing to carry a lot of the albums with profanity and all, like Two Live Crew and myself. So when we decided to do it, you know, I was like, I want to make the most vulgar, obscene record that's ever been put out there. I want to push some buttons and I want to piss some people off. And we did.
Nice.
It was great.
What kind of backlash did you get? Oh,
we got a bunch of backlash. I was arrested for public indecency more than once.
Really?
The police chief of Atlanta said I was never welcome back there.
Oh,
and
damn.
I asked him as an artist or just in general.
Oh, shit.
Didn't like that. At that point, my management had stepped in and said, let's go, it's time to leave. And it was, we've had, you know, church groups out in front of the places we've performed, in front of record stores that carried our record.
Damn. So you guys made a lot of noise around that area then.
That was pretty much my goal. You know, don't make much money in the well, at the time you didn't. Especially signing with major labels and all. I mean, really cash money and no limits, you know, taught artists how to do it right. You know, you control your own stuff, you own your own stuff.
You there, man? I think he cut out here for a second. Hold on. Okay, we lost him. You know how internet goes. So we're going to jump into another song real quick. We're going to jump into I Hate Your Face, But I Love Your Head. So let's go ahead and rock this for a minute, and then I'll see if I can grab him back, and we will go from there. This is the Nothing Sacred Show, bitches.
Hey, baby, bring your ugly ass here. Won't you do that for me? I'll buy you some Glipizil if you suck my dick.
I hate your face, but I love your head. I can't stand your face, but I love your head. I hate your face, but I love your head. I can't stand your face, but I love your head.
I don't give a fuck if you are ugly. You still got lips that are able to suck me. You look like a goon from outer space with all them black heads in your fucking face. You's an ugly motherfucker. You look like shit, but you sure can suck one hell of a dick. Suck my dick like a lollipop. Swallow my cum, bitch, every drop. Put my white ass in a nasty drink and suck my dick till my balls scream. But please, baby, wear a mask, cause I don't wanna look at your Medusa ass. Jesus Christ, what the fuck? You look like you got hit by a dump truck. You ugly motherfucker. You heard what I said? I hate your face, but I love your head.
I hate your face, but I love your head. I can't stand your face, but I love your head. I hate your face, but I love your head. I can't stand your face, but I love your head.
I remember one night I met this beautiful girl. She said that she wanted to suck my world. She was so fine, she was so pretty that I never really thought she could suck so shitty. She put the head of my dick in her mouth and went, yucky, and spit it out. I said, baby, what's wrong? Suck it right. She said,
You choking me, Crazee White.
I said, baby, look, slowly nip. That stupid motherfucker went and bit my shit. My dick was bleeding and my balls were mad, saying,
That pretty bitch sucks mighty saying.
so all you fellas, let me give you a tip. A lot of pretty motherfuckers can't suck dick. It's the ugly bitches. You heard what I said? I hate your face, but I love your head.
I hate your face, but I love your head. I can't stand your face, but I love your head. I hate your face, but I love your head. I can't stand your face, but I love your head.
Pretty motherfuckers suck like beginner, but an ugly motherfucker eat you like dinner. They suck your dick like a starving child. Hungry little bitch, suck it wild. Slob on my knob, blow my dick, put your tongue around the top and lick the tip. I don't want the pussy, so I won't check her. I cannot fuck a bitch that look like Esther, shaped like JJ, off Good Time, with your skinny fucking ass and your square behind. Cut off the lights, for heaven's sake. I don't wanna see you or your fucked up shape. All I wanna feel is your fucking lip, slippy slap slobbing on my dick. Suck my dick till I am dead. I hate your face, but I love your head.
I hate your face, but I love your head. I can't stand your face, but I love your head. I hate your face, but I love your head. I can't stand your face, but I love your head.
Sharon, you ugly bitch, suck my dick. Peggy, you ugly bitch, suck my dick. Kim, you ugly bitch, suck my dick. Lynn, you ugly bitch, suck my dick. Joanne, you ugly bitch, suck my dick. Marie, you ugly bitch, suck my dick. Tony, you ugly bitch, suck my dick. And Donna, you ugly bitch, suck my dick. Suck my dick, suck my dick. Suck, 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 suck my dick. Suck my dick, suck my dick. Suckity, suck, 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 suck my dick.
You light up my dick. You get me hard to come along and please suck my dick. You ugly bitch, drink my cup.
Oh, Joanne, oh, suck it, bitch. Yeah, Now get the fuck out, bitch.
Oh yeah, bitches. I hate your face, but I love your head. And in the process, I got Crazee White Boy back. So we had a little internet drop, man. This is the fun stuff we have to deal with sometimes, man. So you were saying you were going into the whole thing with how No Limit and Cash Money kind of taught you guys how to do the right thing as far as musically goes.
Right. Well, they came after us. That really before them, I mean, a lot of artists, I mean, when they said they were releasing their own stuff, they were basically selling cassette tapes out of the trunk of their car. It was No Limit, who started the company. And, they said, we're going to be an independent record label, but we're going to act like a major label. As a matter of fact, there's a show on Netflix right now about hip hop. And each episode takes you to a different part of the country. And the very first episode is in New Orleans, and Manny's on there, Greg's on there, Master P, and Master P talked about that and how he started it. And that was really it really opened the doors for a lot of artists and gave them, a lot of control that most artists back then didn't have.
Right. Well, you were done by then, weren't you? By the time Master P and all those guys rolled around, you've stepped away from it, right?
Yeah, I was pretty much done at that point. I hadn't done anything, and I was still getting some offers, still get, people asking me. But by that point, I'd starting to step away from the party, and I realized that, I like the lifestyle and I like the craft, and I was lucky to live through it the first time, and I probably shouldn't push my luck. Because, when it comes to music or really any art, I mean, you gotta have the passion for it. You gotta be in 100%. I like the partying and the drugs and all, you know, a little more than I like the recording process and the writing process, and you know, all the stuff that you have to do.
Right, right. So it was the partying and all that stuff that was kicking your ass mainly.
Yeah, at that point, yeah.
Wow, wow, man. Yeah, I guess that's just something that I think all musicians, in most cases, get caught up in. You know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's easy too. You know, I know guys who never touched a drop of alcohol, anything, and decided they wanted to be a musician. And you know, the big thing is, you know, people don't realize is you don't have to be a rock star to be treated like a rock star. I mean, I remember playing dives and little hole in the walls, and you know, never paying for drinks or drugs, or you know, just being treated like a rock star. And it didn't suck at the time. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm sure it was pretty fun, man.
Oh, it was a blast. I have many stories that I'll never be able to tell my grandchildren.
So we can't tell any on here, I guess, in case they would listen, right?
No details.
Yeah, man. Well, you know what? I never knew, to be honest with you. I thought you were from like Miami or somewhere. And it wasn't only until recently I figured out, oh shit, he's from New Orleans, which New Orleans had a lot of good artists coming out, man. You had Tim Smooth, Bottom Posse, Bust Down.
Yeah, the hip hop scene out here was unbelievable. The music scene as a whole was lacking as compared to the rest of the country, which is odd, being that, you know, New Orleans is always known for its jazz and its blues and stuff like that. But things like all the hip hop was underground. You know, the rock scene was pretty much, you know, it was behind times with everybody else until, you know, recently, you know, guys like Phil from Pantera and Crowbar started breaking out, and you know, bands like that. But the hip hop scene out here was, man, there's so much talent around here. It was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's why I always liked, you know, if I found out they were from, you know, certain cities or whatever, I'm like, oh, they're from there too. Shit, I got to get their stuff, you know. So
Right.
I was on it, you know. Yeah. So that was, but that was the only album you dropped, was just that Down and Dirty, and then after that, you said you did a few other little songs here and there, but then that was it, huh?
That was it. That was my 15 minutes, you know. And besides, you know, when we were talking with the record company, I wanted to, you know, to do some things. But first of all, I had to think, okay, now how am I gonna top this? You know?
Right.
And then, you know, we had some ideas. I had it's kind of good now with, you know, the way society is now, and reaching back into the past and crucifying people, you know. This would be a lot different interview had I done my second record. I used to get a lot of one of my security guys actually came to me. He used to get a lot of people would ask him what it was like, you know, working with me and being on the road with me and stuff, and which I always found kind of odd. It was like, you know, it's like almost like they've never actually a white person in the wild. You know, they've seen them on TV, but, you know, but so, and you know, my bodyguard at the time, he'd always tell him, he said, man, that's not no regular white guy. That's just a nigga of a lighter shade. And I'm like, dude, that's the name of my next record right there.
Oh, wow.
You know, having a white guy say that, you know, today, I mean, back then, you know, it was me and 12 other black guys. So the word didn't mean anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but when we were, you know, initially in talks with RCM, like, okay, well, this is what the next record's going to be called and all. And they like, no, it's not. I was like, yes, it is. They're like, oh, we can pretty much assure you it's not.
That sounds great. I mean, I love that, man, because, you know, that there was, you know, I'll let you in on a little dirty secret myself. I rapped. Well, I still do sometimes, you know, I'll record some things, but nothing that I put out anymore. But when I first came out, I was using that word on record. And, you know, I'm a white guy. So I had some people tell me, you shouldn't be using that word, man. You're white. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, look, dude, you ought to be happy that the white man's assimilating for once. You know?
Right.
So
it's crazy. My mom, because my mother does not like that word at all. She had no problem with the first record, you know, no problem whatsoever, no matter what I talked about, no matter how many F-bombs I dropped, you know, wasn't a problem. When it came to that, she's like, oh, that is not acceptable.
Wow.
Okay. Mama
Yeah.
spoke.
Well, you know, but it's funny because I'm sure your black buddies called you that, and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's just how you guys talk to each other. You know, what's up, nigga? You know, and
Right.
that's just how you guys were getting down. You know.
Right. And, you know, like I said, it was actually my bodyguard who was a black guy. He was the one who called me that, you know. So, but
Man.
that, you know, it was a different time then, you know. I mean, to be honest with you now, I'm still, I play a lot of softball. I'm in the softball community, and you know, a lot of really good close friends of mine are all black guys. You know, I just don't feel, comfortable using the word now,
No.
even and look, even some of them say the word doesn't bother them, and I'm like, well, it bothers me, and so I guess it was kind of a blessing in disguise. Like I said, it was a different time back then, and I'm a different person now. So
Right. Do you have any tracks from that album?
actually, it's funny you said that. My mom was cleaning out some stuff earlier today, and she found a cassette tape that was the album before it was the final mix, and my live show intro on the other side.
Oh.
I had actually lost everything I had in Hurricane Katrina.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And then I had a friend of mine had found a single on wax on eBay and bought it and gave it to me. Then I had a DJ from Germany found out that I had lost everything, and he had sent me a copy. He said he had 2 copies of it, and this was about 3 or 4 years ago. And he sent me a copy when he found out I didn't have anything. But yeah, I think I have that one cassette. I think I have a cassette single, and I have the album on wax that the DJ from Germany sent me, and then the 12-inch single on Dance and Make Noise that my friend of mine had found on eBay and bought.
Wow.
But that's really all I got. I do have a couple of passes from when I toured with Too Short. I have the pass when we played club back then. I still have that pass. I don't know how those survived, but that's about it.
They're all tapes. I was gonna say I'd love to hear some of your like unreleased music that nobody's ever heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had a few tracks, and as a matter of fact, I want to take that cassette and see if I can go to a pawn shop or somewhere and find a cassette player and see what's on it, because we did record a couple of tracks that didn't make the album. Because we would just, like I said, when we decided to do the album, we didn't have it written. It wasn't like in most cases when you go in to do an album, you got, a 20 song catalog to choose from.
Right.
We would just, come up with stuff and just start writing. Some of the stuff was written, right there in the studio. And yeah, it was pretty wild. I think the toughest part, especially with the recording and deciding what songs to use, is the laughter, trying to get through it without laughing. And I think that drove a lot of engineers crazy, having to clean up all the laughing.
Right. Well, because the shit that was coming out of you, and you're just going, what the fuck? Seriously?
I can't tell you how many times I'm like, really? Say that out loud? And it's, some of the stuff was so rude. I listened back to the song. I'm like, dude, I'm never getting laid again. This is it. There ain't a woman on the planet gonna like me. This. I'm done. I was shocked to be wrong, though.
Well, it's like you're on I Hate Your Face, But I Love Your Head. The first thing you say is, if you suck my dick, I'll buy you some Clearasil.
We probably laughed harder on that song than anything we recorded. That seems to be a lot of favorite, a lot of people's favorite song. It's probably one of mine. I got a lot of heat though, because in that song, I listed at the end there. I go through some names, some girls' names and shit.
Right.
And I've had girls come up to me, and a friend of mine, Tony, she's like, I can't believe you said that about me on that record. I'm like, oh shit, that wasn't even about you. So and then I'm going through the names. I'm trying to figure out, okay, who do I know with this name? Because really, it was made up on the spot. That wasn't even written out. I was in front of my mic, and they said, all right, we need to do a list of names here. Just go through some girls' names, and and then until we're done. And so I just, whatever came to mind. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna get in so much trouble.
Right, because they're pretty common names, like Tina and whatever.
And of course, since I had to make them up on the spot and they popped into my head, I had to have known somebody with that name, and I knew at least one person with the name.
Oh shit. well, with me seeing my raps, I used to actually say chicks' names that I was fucking with,
Right.
So then I'd have some girls, like if I remember I was with this girl Shannon one night, and she was like, she knew that I did music. She's like, "Are you gonna make a rap about me?" So I don't know if you ever ran into that situation where you're fucking with a chick and she's like, "Are you gonna put me in a rap? Are you gonna say my name?"
Oh yeah, a lot.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's funny though. But yeah, no, it's a great, all those songs were great. And another thing, going back to the racial deal, is you guys did poke fun at some of the races. White guys eat pussy. Sure,
Right.
Bet I doubt it.
Exactly, and that's exactly how Greg sold it to me too. He said, "We want to do this song. We want to call it Hey Pussy Eat It. And it's about how white guys do and black guys don't." And that's when I said, "Well, I'm your man." And then I asked him, "Just, y'all really don't do that?" I said, "Man, how do y'all keep a woman?"
Yeah. Well, I wonder about that too, because you're right. I know a bunch of black guys that's what they say. I don't eat pussy. Oh no, that's disgusting.
Right. Well, after I did that record and I started doing some shows and traveling around a little bit and talking to people, and especially the girls, a lot of them dudes were fucking lying.
Well, you even said that in the song. White guys eat pussy. Yeah, I doubt it. But when they do, they fucking lie about it.
Right, exactly.
so it's what it is. But yeah, no, I don't know what that is, but there's some stigma, I guess, in black culture about eating pussy or whatever. But you're right. A lot of them wouldn't come out. There's a group called JCD and the Dog Pound out of St. Louis, and they have a song called Bon Appetit, and they're talking about eating pussy, so they do it.
There's a lot more songs about that subject matter than I realized. Actually, Kid Rock's first song, when I first found out about Kid Rock, his record had just come out, and mine was in the final mixdown or whatever. And the management company came to me and they told me about him, and they said, his album's out with Ice Cube, and he's got a song about eating pussy too. And it's called Yodeling in the Valley. I'm like,
yes,
damn, that's pretty clever. Mine's a little more fucking straightforward, but it's cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure and I think there was a double standard back then too, where as a white guy you couldn't talk like that. You couldn't say shit like that. Like if you're a black dude, you could get away with it. But as a white dude, you ran up against a lot of things, and people would question, do you hate women? Do you this? And you're going, why? All I'm talking about is pussy. How do I hate women? I don't get that.
Right. Yeah, I got a lot of that. Like I said, I thought my fan base would be, all men. I was pleasantly surprised that, there was quite a few women out there, who understood that, not to be taken serious. I mean, how can you listen to that album and actually take me seriously?
Right.
Because but some people understood that, it was a little over the top. No way I could be serious.
Right. Just playing around, just having fun, just shit talk. That's all it was.
Right. But I'm paying for it now because I have a mother, a sister, 2 daughters, and 2 granddaughters. So the powers upstairs were like, okay, we're gonna let you have your little fun in the 20s, but on the back end of your life, we're gonna make you pay. So now I'm surrounded by all these women that I have to constantly look out for.
Right. So, well, that's the other funny. We should probably tell the story of how you and I linked up. Because it was. Right. Somebody put up your Down and Dirty album on YouTube, and this was about 8 years ago, like 2013. And I commented because I was like, damn, okay, somebody else knows about this album other than me. So I commented and I said, man, I'm surprised anybody else knows about this album. And I said, at the time I did a live radio show instead of like a pre-recorded one, like what I do now. And so I said, I do a internet radio show. I'd love to get the guy on if at some point. So I don't hear jack shit until like a month ago. And it was your daughter. And she says, I think I can make that happen. He's my dad. I'm like, son of a bitch. So my question, I guess, leading up to all that is, she's got to be, well, let's see, what, in her 20s now, 30s?
She's in her 30s.
In her 30s. So she's heard this music and heard you talking like that. So what's her reaction to all that? Like, damn, Dad, I didn't know you were, what the hell?
No, not quite. Actually, that was my biological daughter, who I hadn't met for the first 30 years of her life. And she had reached out to me a couple of years ago. And it's been a heaven sent. It's been, absolutely fabulous. And, in the course of, catching up and getting to know each other and stuff, we started talking about, the music and stuff like that. And so I had told her about the Crazee White Boy part. I said, I would really prefer if you never listened to it. So there's some stuff you can hear, but, it's some things you don't want to hear your daddy saying,
Right.
So
Yeah.
I went on there, I found it on YouTube and pulled off one of the cleans and was letting her listen to it. And as we're talking, I said, they got some comments on here. I said, let me look through them. I said, I figured there's a bunch of, going to be a bunch of people saying, how terrible I was and this and that.
Right.
Kind of scrolling, and we were shocked. I was shocked, to find out how many people from different, Detroit, just from different parts of the country were really into it as much as they were. And so I had kind of shared some of the comments with her. And we were kind of joking and laughing about it. And then I don't know, she had done a podcast for something else, and she said she got to thinking about it. So she went back to I think specifically look for you, for your comment. And she found it, and she that's when she responded to your comment, and then afterwards sent me a text message and said, Daddy, I think I'm in trouble. And just what every dad wants to hear from their daughter,
Yeah. Right.
I'm like, what did you do? And so she told me. I said, oh, okay. I said, that's cool. She's like, really? You're not masked? No. I said, I haven't talked. I said, I don't know, I'm not doing anything or promoting anything. I don't know if they're going to be interested. It may be a where are they now kind of situation. But yeah, I'll talk to them. I haven't told these stories in a while. Some of them are still kind of fuzzy, but what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was my main thing. It was kind of like where is he now?
Right.
What's he doing? Where'd he go?
He's off in the shadows, letting all the youngsters do their thing and just sitting back and going, yeah, I remember that.
That's cool, man. So what are you doing now? What's your life like now? I'm probably way different.
It's way different. I got like I said, I met my daughter 2 years ago for the first time, and just spending a lot of time with her. I have my adopted daughter. I have my grandchildren. I spend a lot of time on the water. Doing a lot of fishing. And I play a lot of softball. I host softball tournaments. I'm trying to stay active, and that's about it, really. Just kind of fading into the shadows. Some of these kids at the park, at the parks, they finding out who I am through older brothers and stuff like that. So word starts to get out. I had one situation. I had this cute girl come up to me, and she was like, hey, is it true you used to be Crazee White Boy? I get a little smile on my face. Like I said, she's young. She's a cute little thing. I'm like, yeah, that was me many, many moons ago. She's like, my mom used to love you. I'm like, oh, God.
Isn't that funny?
To everybody else that was standing around.
Right. Does it ever kind of make you sweat a little bit? Like, fuck, not now. Like somebody brings up your old persona and you're like, this is
all the time. That's it. Wasn't you Crazee White Boy? Does he owe you money? Are you one of his children? And no, I have no idea who he is. yeah, I get a little nervous sometimes, but for the most part, enough time has passed now. So
Right. Or if somebody brings it up, like, let's say you're at work or something like that, and somebody comes, hey man, hey, you were Crazee White Boy, and your boss is standing right there going, can you please explain this Crazee White Boy thing? Like, what is that?
Right. Fortunately, my boss does know. I've been knowing the people I work with for a while now, and they're pretty cool. So, but it doesn't too much anymore. Like I said, you know, a lot of the older people now faded into the back. But when these young kids come up to me, you know, my first question is, "How the fuck do you know about that shit?"
That's,
You
yeah, I would
know,
want to know that too.
I get a lot of, you know, oh, my older brother had your CD, you know, and I stole it from him, and you know, my older brother had it, somebody stole it. I'm like, and that was the big thing. Everybody had to have my CD stolen. If I got paid for the CDs that got stolen, I'd have a triple platinum album. I think my CD got stolen more than it got bought.
Now it's in pawn shops. People are probably buying it again, and you know. So, well, the thing was, I had the cassette, and I got, well, I'll tell you this, I got bed bugs, so I had to throw away all my tapes, and yours was one, unfortunately, man.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, yeah, but you know what? The cool thing is, I believe I can still get it on Amazon, right?
No, I haven't checked. I had some people who've gone online, they tried to buy it, and it's, you know, it's no longer in print. So it's pretty much, you know, places like eBay. You may be able to find it on Amazon. Everybody I know who has found it on eBay.
Yeah, see, I don't really like eBay because you have to bid on things. You know, my thing is, if I want something, I just want to buy it straight out, you know.
Right.
So, but I think you are on it. I want to say I did see it on Amazon, and as a matter of fact, it was spelled different. It was like C-RAZEE White Boy or something.
Oh yeah. So that had to be from overseas or something.
Probably.
I was shocked. Like I said, when that DJ from Germany contacted me, I was shocked that, you know, that it was played out there. We had heard that we were pretty big in Japan because we were getting ready. We were trying to set something up to do a tour over there. We were going to launch from Hawaii and then go to Japan. And so much of Hawaii is owned by the Japanese, which I didn't know at the time.
Right.
So it's big overseas. That's how I found out that, you know, I was being ripped off by my management company too, because I had no idea we even had the record overseas.
Oh, so these were sales you didn't even know about.
Exactly.
Oh man, that's crazy.
So I saw a common thing like that.
Well, and see, you don't think about that at the time you're making the music. You know, you have this picture of what your fan base is going to be, and then all of a sudden you're finding out now you got dudes in France going, "Hey, pussy ita, hey, pussy ita." You know,
Exactly.
So it's interesting, man. You know, a lot of people you didn't think would catch on to that, and man, as a matter of fact, they're probably still playing it to this day.
That's what I heard. The DJ from Germany back then said he was still in the club. I'm like, really? That's okay. It's a little different, but you know,
man.
Well, I guess around here, you know, they'll contact me, and if every once in a while they'll throw it on there, or they do an old school set or something.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Or just pop it on just to see how kind of people react, you know?
Right.
But the problem with Americans is they want what's popular now. Like if you were to throw that on, they might be like, who's that? You know, Two Live Crew or something, you know, and you're like, nah, man.
Now they'd probably ask, who's Two Live Crew?
That's true. Yeah. They would, because it's been so long.
Ain't done nothing in a while either.
Yeah. It's been a minute for those dudes too. So, but yeah, man, it's a definitely a wild ride, and you know, sometimes, you know, like you say, you don't realize who's gonna be into your music, and then all these people pop out of the woodwork, and you're like, damn, I didn't realize I made that kind of impact.
I was shocked. You know, I thought I was gonna be this long haired drummer, rock star.
How old were you when you made that?
Let's see, I signed a deal in November. I was 22.
22.
God, 22. I'm 54 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I say that all the time. Wow.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, well, I guess that just goes to show you, man, life is life's a trip. You know, you close your eyes and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, what the fuck? What did I been doing this whole time, you know?
Right. Exactly. I mean, we having this conversation, you know, and now these old old memories and stories are coming, you know, back to mind, and like it happened yesterday. And you know, but the reality is, I'm closer to the day of my death than I am to the day of my birth. Fucking crazy.
Right. Oh man, that is wild. Well, you know what I say, man? We should feed him some more music. Let's hear Get Vocal.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're going to jump in and Get Vocal, and we'll be right back to talk to you some more on the Nothing Sacred interview with Crazee White Boy.
I want a bitch who appreciates dick. Fuck you shy hoes playing that role. Suck my dick. You want to be down with Crazee White? You got to get vocal and talk to me, bitch. Get your face out that pillow, hoe. Cock that pussy. Get vocal.
Crazee White, I want some dick.
Yeah, get vocal. Well, look here. I'll fuck you if you promise to get downright vocal.
What do you mean?
I mean, tell me what you feel. Get vocal. As I stroke that pussy with this hard dick. I like pussies wet and pussies hot, but most of all, respect my cock. I want a woman to fucking know. When I fuck, act like a hoe. Scream hoe like a hot ass bitch. Let the world know you love my dick. Get down and dirty like a fucking slut. Spread your cheeks, let me go up your butt. Talk dirty, I'm your fucking man. Be a slut, bitch, whenever you can. Ho, talk to my fucking bone. Don't just lay there and fucking moan. Let me know I'm dicking you down. Tell me how you like it, make some sound. Roll over, bitch, take this mic. Now tell everybody what it feels like. Get vocal. Get down like vocal. Is a man's best friend. So at times, a man likes to know when he's fucking. Tell him the deal. Show him his cock has dick appeal. Tell him,
Oh, baby, I love your cock. Fuck me. Ooh, it's always a rock. Ram his dick up my asshole. Fuck me till my hole is swole.
we love it when you talk like that. It lets us know we killing your cat. Talk to me, baby, while I fuck you. And if you talk good, I might suck you. So keep talking, I'll keep sticking. Let me know what's up, bitch.
Oh, you dicking me. I love it. Fuck.
Come on, bitch. I told you, slut, get vocal. Tell me how that dick feels.
It feels good.
Please understand, nasty talk excites your man. The dicks will stay hard as long as you like. You might come 4 or 5 times that night. Get vocal. Come on, my dear. Tell me that nasty shit I wanna hear. Call my penis a fucking dick. And just tonight, let me call you a bitch. Tell me, baby, where you want me to lick it.
Right there.
And where you want me to stick it. Talk, motherfucker, use them lungs. Fuck that moaning, use your tongue.
Oh, shit, let me lick your dick. Come my mouth white.
There you go, bitch.
Fuck me as hard as you can.
That's right, baby. Talk to your man.
Oh,
Get vocal.
I'm a fucking
Get vocal. Bitch.
fuck yeah. Come with me. Push harder.
You fucking bitch.
You motherfucker. Oh, yeah, pussy. Oh, yeah, pussy. Oh, I'm coming.
Yeah. Oh, shit. That wore me out.
Get vocal. And just for tonight, let me call you a bitch. Who's that chick on there rapping with you?
That was I have no idea. I didn't know who she was then. That was actually somebody Greg brought into the studio. We that was one of those songs we wrote in the studio. And it was towards the end of the recording. You know, I was getting cabin fever. I'm probably on, a 3-day coke binge at that time, and I know I was constantly drunk. So probably not one of the better records, not one of my better performances on the record.
Well, I thought it was good, man. As a matter of fact, I've kind of adopted that myself. I prefer women to get vocal when I'm with them,
Right. Let them know.
Yeah. Well, I get vocal myself. As a matter of fact, I was fucking a chick one time, and I was like, yeah, your thirsty cunt wants this or something like that. And she was just like, stop saying that. And I'm like, what? It's a cunt. Tonight it's a cunt.
Yeah, that stuff should be left to the women. We just don't sound right when we try to do it.
I guess not. But for me, it was just, it's a moment. I mean, that song talks about that. It's the heat of passion. Things just come out,
Right. Yeah, but look, I get to say I've gotten the same feedback as you did. So I kind of learned I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. This is not my forte. You stay in my lane here.
Right. Well, just like you said, just for tonight, let me call you a bitch.
Right.
Tomorrow I'll call you honey or baby or whatever, but tonight's bitch.
Right. And the answer was always no.
but you're right. You always came out talking shit or just saying something wild, in the beginning. So when you said coke binge or something, I could see like you're just fired up, when you turn that mic on.
Right.
It's awesome. What about Kenny D? You still see him anymore? That was your DJ.
That was my DJ. The record had come out. He was shot, in his neighborhood.
Oh shit! He was killed?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Another tragedy. He was a good DJ too, man.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like you guys had a really good chemistry, and it seemed like you guys were having fun.
We were, man. Him and I had a blast. Greg, Manny introduced us. When we decided to do the record, because Manny, he was the one in the studio, and he was doing a lot of the tracks and all, and he brought Kenny in, and Kenny and I just kind of hit it off immediately.
Yeah.
It was.
That was cool, man. Because and apparently he plays guitar too, from what you said on the record.
Yeah, and Manny too. I was shocked. Manny was playing a lot of guitar in the studio. One time Manny's got the guitar on his lap and he's playing it. And I come from. I said I was in a band, in a rock band at the time. So. And another time I come in the studio and Manny's he's at the piano and he's playing. I'm like, damn, this dude doesn't just scratch wax. This dude's a musician.
Oh yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. A lot of times you don't know it until you start to see their abilities. When put an instrument in their hand.
Right. It opened my a lot because, like I said, to a lot of hip hop, and back then, it was always, you had a certain group of people that isn't real music or other people's stuff. And it wasn't until I got into the studio and watched, Manny work, and I'm like, damn, this dude's a musician. These people are musicians. There's no two ways about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and that you're right. That was the time when people would say rap's not music. I remember hearing that all the time,
All the time.
But like you had mentioned, you weren't a rapper, which is kind of funny because you were professional. It was, I remember my first rap was ridiculous. I mean,
well, I can assure you what you heard on the record was not the first take.
So you guys worked it a little bit, rehearsed it a bit.
We did work it a little bit. I think Greg and I, when we first did the first record, I think it like 2 weeks. We got together. Manny had written a basic track, and so me and Greg sat down, and Greg had most of the lyrics written out, and so he was kind of showing me, and I liked Greg's style, and the way he flowed and stuff. So, which was good that I got to learn from somebody like him,
Yeah.
And so we did, and then after that, and so I just started working. When I figured, okay, I'm going to be doing this, I better work at it a little bit.
So did Gregory D write most of your raps, or how'd that work?
Yeah, he wrote most of the raps, most of the lyrics. There was some things here and there. I said, okay, well, let's do this here. Or, I like to tell a lot of people, I wrote stuff in there, but I'll never tell you which lines were mine. And now I couldn't tell you because I just don't fucking remember.
Right. That's funny. Well, you say you went on tour with Too Short. How did he receive you? Because he's like the original bitch rhymer guy.
Yeah, he was cool as shit, man. I didn't hang out with him too much. He pretty much stayed to himself. We did did a few months with him, and it was us, the Ghetto Boys, Spice One, and Too Short. We hung out with Spice One a lot, and I did some, when we'd roll into towns and we'd have to do some promo appearances and all, and we did a lot of, at the time it was a lot of shade. I always seemed to get paired up with like little Bushwick from Ghetto Boy.
Crazy ass Bushwick.
He's a little motherfucker. I thought I could drink until I hung out with him. I'm like, damn, I'm a fucking amateur.
I've heard that about Bushwick, actually.
Some show, that was probably the one tour we actually did. Other than that, we'd do some shows here and there. I think we did a couple of shows with Mellow Man Ace. I remember doing 2 shows in Texas when we first started. It was
Sorry, you cut out, man. Well, who was it? Did you say Digital Underground?
Digital Underground and MC Hammer headline.
Wow.
I had no idea who Tupac was at the time, too. I wish I would have.
Yeah. Was Tupac there on tour with you guys?
Yeah, he was part of the Digital Underground at the time. This was before his solo stuff came out.
Wow.
And I had no idea. Of course, he wasn't solo.
Right. So you're just like, oh, he's just a guy in the band,
Right. That's what he was, and then his solo stuff comes out, and
then you're like, oh, fuck, Tupac.
Right. Like, fuck, what did he waste time with Digital Underground?
Which, by the way, rest in peace. You know that Shock G just died like a week ago.
I saw that last week, huh?
Yeah, last week. He was like, he's like only 3 years older than you are.
Yeah, that's real company.
Yeah, right. And nobody knows the cause of death as of yet. Well, at least that I've heard,
Yeah, I haven't heard anything either. I'm curious myself.
Wow. And you shared the stage with that dude, so it's kind of like, man, kind of fucks with you a little bit, Yep.
I remember when I was young too, and my parents sitting in the living room, and somebody come on TV on this one just died, and then my parents be like, oh no, and I'm like, who the fuck is that? Well, now my parents, because every time somebody dies and comes on TV, I'm like, oh shit, who is that? I'm like, oh, get out of here, you're killing me.
Right, you're like, don't you understand? It was Shock G, man.
Man, I failed as a parent.
Was there anybody that you went on tour with or that you worked with that was kind of an asshole?
Yes. I knew. Question always comes up. Yes.
Do you mind saying who it was, or do you rather not?
I never have before. Vanilla Ice was a prick.
Was he really?
Well, maybe he changed his ways, or I look back now and I think record company and I would just filling his head with so much shit, with him going to be such a big star and all that. I think it went to his head, and at the time he was still just coming out. I mean, his record had just dropped,
right,
and he was starting to get some notoriety. And as a matter of fact, it was on the same bill as the Digital Underground and Hammer shows, and he was just and the crowd didn't take to him too kindly either for one of the shows that I remember, because I remember thinking, well, they are gonna fucking crucify me. So, but of course I was doing something a little different.
So they liked you.
Yeah, I was shocked and a little happy too, because like I said, he was kind of a prick.
Yeah.
And it's probably that was 30-something years ago.
Well, that just goes to show you it wasn't because he was a white guy. So obviously you even say he was a prick, and now he's like the most hated dude in rap music even today. You can't say his name without getting some people rolling eyes at you or gritting their teeth or something,
Yeah, maybe there was something to it. I don't know. I just remember, laughing and seeing him on Arsenio Hall and talking about how he got stabbed and, showing his little scar on his ass. And yeah, he was a prick. And so, of course, I have to make if you get stabbed in your ass, you were obviously running away. So
right. It wasn't like in your chest or your neck or some shit, right?
Right. Taking my little pop shots, But
Wow.
That's here, neither here nor there.
Right. Right. But
And I never did say it before. I would never, when people would ask me, because it always sounded like like a jealousy thing, because he was the white rapper, I was the white rapper, and he had a lot more commercial success than I did, and which I was never looking for commercial success, and so just to avoid all of that, being accused of being jealous, I just never,
right.
just said, yeah, there's assholes in the business, but I'd rather not say.
It's interesting, but at this point, you're just like, I don't fucking care.
Right. Yeah, at this point, what's he gonna do? He gonna come find me? He gonna talk bad about me in the media?
Right. That Crazee White Boy. Who's that?
Well, neither one of us are fucking relevant anymore. I think he's doing that home rebuilding show or something on.
Oh yeah,
TV.
there's something he's doing. But well, either way, I mean, those of us who were fans, I mean, obviously you're still remembered. I obviously looked when searching for you in 2013, like, where is this guy? What's he doing now?
Cool shit, man, that's cool as shit. See,
Yeah.
people like you are gonna keep me alive a little longer.
Yeah, exactly. We got the the CPR and mouth to mouth going, rolling. But no, I think that the main thing is, man, for me, that was my 10th grade year when I bought that album. So, and I played the fuck out of it. So,
you were in 10th grade at the time?
I was in 10th grade. Yes. I'm 45 now.
I was 4 years removed from high school. See, even you making me feel like an old fucking man.
Well, I wasn't even sure. I thought, well, listening to it, like, he's probably about my age, because I was going to ask you, how'd you get such an opportunity? But you said you were already in your 20s. So,
Yeah.
Wow. That's what were you doing before? Well, you said you were a rock drummer. But was it did you have like a job? I'm sure you did.
At the time, no, I was a starving musician. I was working with Greg. I was delivering pizzas at the time when I actually signed my contract in the pizza place where I was working. Yeah.
So you went from hey pizza eater to hey pussy eater, right?
Right. I was delivering pizzas because they would let me have off on weekends, so I could gig with the band when I was playing music.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
so you had a cool boss, man. Let you do your music too on the side.
I did. It was really cool. Well, that was kind of one of the things too. I wasn't going to get a job if it was going to interfere with my music, because at the time I was going to be a rock star like everybody.
Right. Well, and that's it. You're kind of you think it's easy, and then all of a sudden you're going, oh shit.
Right.
That's crazy. Well, I wonder if you would have come out, let's say now, with all this downloading and all that, you think things would have been different, or what do you?
If I'd have came out now, I'd have probably been canceled 2 days after the record release.
And you're probably right. Yeah.
I would have definitely have gotten crucified immediately, which is a shame, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think about that, what would it be like now? It would be different though. It would have to. I mean, music's different now.
Yeah. The whole style, feel, and everything.
Right.
But hey, man, here it is. 30 years later, and we're grabbing you. Have you had any other possible interviews or people that have reached out that have been like, hey man, I remember you. You want to come on my podcast or anything like that?
I haven't had anybody with podcasts. I've had some few years. We're going back years ago, that they were writing, they had a blog, or they were writing for this internet paper or whatever on this internet site. And, but I wasn't really doing it. I usually just turned everybody down. I'm like, I'm not in the business anymore. I got nothing to promote. And there's so many other artists out there you could talk to. And I just had no desire really. And actually, this is the first interview I've done. God, damn. Over 20 something years.
Dude, I brought you back. I'm telling you.
You got the blood pumping again.
Wow, I busted your podcast cherry, man. This is fucking amazing. But
I'm gonna go right down to my old self, because I had some friends of mine a few years ago, some younger guys. They were working in a club, and dad found out about the Crazee White Boy stuff, and they were like, man, you got to come do a show. Do one more show. Come out of retirement. They used to always. So finally, they just wore me down. I said, you know what? I'll come do one show if, you know, I get paid this. And I just asked for outrageous shit.
Wait.
I said, yeah, it's on. Let's do it. It's like, oh, fuck, I got to do this. So I started getting, you know, started playing some of my old stuff and said, let me see if I can put a show together. And I remember putting on one. I don't even remember what the song that was, but I put it on and I started rapping to it. I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I'm gonna fucking die. I'm gonna drop dead right there on stage. You know,
because of doing the just rapping like that, like just
yes. And this was just me, you know, in my living room. This wasn't even a full stage because I can't keep still. I could never keep still, especially on stage. You know, constantly moving around. I wasn't a dancer. But, you know, I was constantly moving around, constantly interacting with the crowd and stuff like that. And that shit, I don't know how to, I know how I did it back then. There's a lot of fucking cocaine, apparently. Because when I tried to come back, when I tried to put something together this last time, I'm like, nah, I can't do it. I'm going to die. I'm going to have a heart attack right up there on stage. And then somebody got shot at the club 2 weeks later and they shut it down. So I'm like, that's the powers that be telling me, stay your ass retired.
So that's funny, man. So here it was, you're out of breath and you're going, oh fuck, I can't do this anymore, man.
right now, how am I gonna, you know, these are my boys, I'm gonna let them down. Said I can't tell them no. Guess I'm just gonna have to go up there and fucking die, you know?
This is it, man. Be sure to call the hearse, man. Just, you know, ambulance and everything. Wow, that's wild. Well, man, I thank you for coming on to our little hole in the wall here. And, you know, I guess obviously that you have no websites or anything where you're trying
I got nothing to promote. I got nothing but love and stories.
Well, that's cool, man. And that's what we wanted to hear, you know?
I appreciate y'all reaching out, man. I appreciate the love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I appreciate you coming on and just hang on with us. We're going to go ahead and end this off right now. We're going to take you out with a bang with Gots to Have Pussy. When you wake up in the morning, you got to have pussy. Go to fucking sleep.
Go to bed.
Right. Exactly. And then this one, you come out talking shit too.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's what you do. Anyway, man, Crazee White Boy, thank you for coming on, man. And, you know, hey, maybe we'll do something again in the future if you're feeling so inclined.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate y'all reaching out to me. Much love. Anything I can do, just let me know. I'll be there for you, brother.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And bitches, this is the Nothing Sacred interview with Crazee White Boy. I am Maxwell Silverhammer, and that's the story there, bitches. See ya.
You stupid bitch, can't you understand? Gots to have pussy. When I wake up in the morning,
Gots to have pussy.
when I go to fucking sleep,
Gots to have pussy.
when I watch a dirty flick,
Gots to have pussy.
when I see a fine bitch,
Gots to have pussy.
Gots to have pussy is the name of this cut. I'm a motherfucking freak, and I got to fuck. I fuck in the morning, I fuck till I sleep. I gotta fuck all motherfucking week. So if you got a wet pussy and it needs a bit, pull your drawers down, bitch, and ride my brick. I wanna fuck your pussy like a wild savage. Please give me vagina because I got to have it. When I wake up in the morning,
Gots to have pussy.
when I go to fucking sleep,
Gots to have pussy.
when I watch a dirty flick,
Gots to have pussy.
and when I see a fine bitch.
Gots to have pussy.
For all you pussy eaters, put your tongues in your mouth. It's time to work your dicks, baby, in and out. Stroke that pussy till it's soaking wet. Hey, you quick draw bitch, don't shoot off yet. Let me fuck you, girl. Raise up your skirt and finger fuck that pussy till my dick goes squirt. No more delaying because my dick is hard. Take this white boy dick, bitch. When I wake up in the morning,
Gots to have pussy.
when I go to fucking sleep,
Gots to have pussy.
when I watch a dirty flick,
Gots to have pussy.
and when I see a fine bitch.
Gots to have pussy.
I love to fuck, and that's a fact. and pull out my cock. Rub it, stroke it, feel it, kiss it. Don't act stupid, bitch. You know where to stick it. It takes two, but I got one hard motherfucking dick to get the job done. P-U-S-S-Y. Say bitch. P-U-S-S-Y. Say ho. P-U-S-S-Y. Say slut. P-U-S-S-Y. Say ladies. P-U-S-S-Y is what I fuck. Put your tongue in my asshole and tickle my nuts. Crazy white boys in the motherfucking house. Ask all the freaks, they know what I'm about. Strictly wham bam when I'm fucking a bitch. Sally and Jane, both fuck the dick. So for all you fine ladies, listen, trust me. Can you do me a favor? Please fuck me. I wanna take my dick and stick it so far up your pussy till I choke that motherfucker. And you throw a baby face here, that whip appeal? Wait till I whip out this big meatloaf. Yeah, I might be crazy white boy, but I got a big fat long Negro dick for your ass. You can think an elephant just snuck up your pussy. You big fat cat pussy, pork lip, pickle tip vagina. Crazy white boy needs pussy like a vampire needs blood. Oh yeah, speaking of blood, bitch, I will fuck you with your period down. You think I give a fuck? Just give me pussy, bitch.